South Korea. South Korea. Focus question. What are some important things to know about South Korea? Where is it? The official name of South Korea is the Republic of Korea. This country in East Asia is slightly smaller than the country of Iceland. South Korea is located on the southern part of the Korean peninsula. It has water on three sides. Its closest neighbor is North Korea, which is on the northern part of the peninsula. With more than 9 million people, South Korea's capital city of Seoul is the country's largest city. It's one of the largest cities in the entire world. Seoul is located on the Han River in the northwestern part of the country. Seoul is a modern center of trade and business. It's also an important historic landmark. The downtown area is enclosed by walls built more than 600 years ago. It contains country's old palaces and royal gardens. People. More than 49 million people live in South Korea. The national language of South Korea is Korean. Other languages spoken in South Korea include Chinese, Japanese, and English. South Koreans work in many different types of jobs. Many people work in manufacturing, making important products like cars, ships, and technology to sell to other countries. South Korea has many jobs in computers and related fields. Family is extremely important in Korean society. Sometimes several generations live together in a single household. Many South Koreans respect their older family members by keeping detailed records of their histories. They also show respect on holidays with special food and ceremonies. Most Koreans see education as the key to success. Many sources agree that Korean students are among the best readers in the world. Land. Hills and mountains cover most of South Korea. Only a small part of the land is flat enough for farming. The Taebaek Mountains run along the eastern coast. Several other mountain ranges branch off, running roughly east-west. Most of the mountains are less than 1,219 meters, 4,000 feet tall. The highest peak is Mount Halna, a volcano at 1,950 meters, 6,398 feet. South Korea's eastern coastline is fairly straight. However, the rest of its coast is broken up by rivers and streams. They form countless waterways and feature more than 3,500 small islands. Streams and rivers line the lowlands. These waters have some of the highest tides in the world. Near Seoul, the water level varies about 9 meters, 30 feet. That's enough to cover a 3-story house. Most of South Korea's rural population lives in the coastal and island plains regions. The plains provide fertile farmland for growing foods like rice, fruits, and vegetables. South Korea has 4 seasons. Temperatures average -6 degrees Celsius, 21 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit in winter. In summer, the highs are 27 to 32 degrees Celsius, 80 to 90 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. Summer also brings the rainy season when the country gets more than half of its rainfall each year. During this season, South Korea is sometimes hit by dangerous storms. Heavy flooding is common. History. The Korean region has more than 2,000 years of recorded history. Though people have lived there for 10,000 years, its location kept it away from the rest of the world. The result was a people with a common way of life, language, and political system. Over centuries, kingdoms tried to take control of the land. Korea was once controlled by China and the Mongolian Empire. In 1905, Japan took control of Korea. 5 years later, Japan made Korea a Japanese colony. During this time, Koreans were not allowed to speak their language. Many protested and refused to give up their traditions. Korea remained under Japanese control until Japan's surrender at the end of World War II. So Korea wanted to control their own government at the end of World War II. The country was divided into two occupation zones. The United States military controlled the southern half of the Korean peninsula. A country called the Soviet Union controlled the northern half. However, the nation's leaders had different opinions on how to set up Korea's new government. The United Nations ordered democratic elections, which South Korea held. North Korea set up a kind of government that put a leader in place without elections. In 1948, the United Nations officially recognized South Korea's government as the government in North and South Korea. 2 years later, North Korea invaded South Korea to try to bring the divided nation together by force. This started the Korean War, which cost 2.5 million lives and nearly destroyed both countries. The war ended in 1953 with a ceasefire agreement. This left North and South Korea separated by a strip of land 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles wide. Officially, the two countries are still at war. Although they agreed to a ceasefire, they never agreed to peace. Celebrations. Until the mid-20th century, South Korea was primarily a nation of farmers. As a result, many of its important holidays are linked to the moon calendar. New Year's Day, called Seonnal, is the most important of these festivals. On this holiday, South Koreans celebrate everyone becoming 1 year older with foods, gifts, games, and fortune telling. The harvest festival called Chuseok is another important holiday. Families visit and clean their relatives' graves and leave food offerings to show their respect. On a baby's first birthday, the parents place objects in front of the baby and let the baby choose their favorite. If the baby picks up a book, it means they will be smart. Picking up money means the baby will be wealthy. Food. Korean food is very flavorful. Kimchi, a food a little like spicy sauerkraut and rice, are served at nearly every meal. Fish, seafood, and pounded rice cakes, called dak, are also important parts of Korean meals. Some South Koreans have an old saying, "Food is the best medicine." They believe that both health and sickness come from the food they eat. Another belief is that some foods will bring a good harvest. For example, a porridge dish made with rice and red beans is eaten to bring good luck to farmers. Conclusion. Over the centuries, the people of South Korea have grown strong by working hard and showing respect for their families and for each other. This way of life has helped South Koreans stay strong during hard times. South Korea is a modern world power, a country and people with a bright future.